I was standing near the projector cart, adjusting the agenda slides before the quarterly finance review. Most people barely looked up, but Damon Wyatt, our CFO, leaned back in his chair and said, "Elena, you're here to document, not diagnose. Just take notes, all right?" A few laughs followed. I smiled like I didn't hear it. That was always easier. I'd been with Archintech for 9 years, started out in data entry, moved through compliance, ended up in internal audit. Unseen, unheard, expected to double-check everyone else's math and then disappear. But I never stopped watching. That day, Damon handed me a printed summary report, glossy, stapled, impressive to anyone who didn't know where to look. I flipped through it, slowly, until a misfiled vendor name caught my eye. One line, one number, one problem. I didn't say anything. Not there, not yet. But in that moment, something clicked. Something shifted. After the meeting, I returned to my desk without a word. People filed out, chatting about projections and client dinners, but my mind stayed fixed on that vendor line, Aventra Holdings. I'd never seen it before, not in our system, not in last quarter's audit. A consulting fee, nearly $500,000, buried under strategic advisory. I opened the internal ledger, searched for the vendor. Nothing. Cross-referenced the payment ID, found it rerouted through a non-standard approval chain, one I recognized from a case we were told not to prioritize last winter. I leaned back in my chair, keeping my face blank. I'd learned early that people only notice you when you react. That's how I stayed invisible for years. By the end of the day, I had 3 more questionable entries, all linked by formatting style and oversight gaps, all approved by Damon Wyatt. I didn't tell anyone, not my manager, not HR. I needed more than suspicion. I needed pattern. I needed proof. And I knew where to start looking. I was in before the sun touched the lobby tiles. That's when the building feels clean, quiet, still, no one watching. Just me, a 2-hot coffee, and 3 hours of calm before anyone asks questions. I started sorting the payments, looking for a pattern. One by one, they led me to the same trick: vague service descriptions, round number retainers, approval chains designed to skip compliance. Damon hadn't just signed off, he built this. I found templates, files buried under generic accounts, authorizations disguised as renewals, audit flags manually cleared within hours of being raised. It was tidy, intentional, and older than I expected, 18 months at least. No one saw it because no one was meant to look, but I was looking. Not officially, not yet, just enough to confirm what I felt in my gut. Someone trusted the system too much, and someone else knew how to hide in it. I kept it quiet. The trick is to act as if nothing's wrong, even when everything is. I smiled in meetings, nodded in hallways, joked just enough to avoid questions. Meanwhile, I charted dates, invoice clusters, approvals. I even watched the parking logs, who came in late, who left early, cross-referenced badge entries with network logins. I was looking for cracks, and they were everywhere. But it still didn't explain the why. Money laundering? Embezzlement? Or was it a slush fund for something worse? Whatever it wasn't just Damon. He had help. Layers of it. People who knew how to make corruption look like operations. And the more I found, the more I realized this wasn't sloppiness. It was design. That meant risk. If someone noticed I was digging, I'd be next on their list, just not for a promotion. That week, 3 more payments moved through without service records. I flagged them, but only in my copy of the ledger. Quiet flags, private ones. Meanwhile, someone else was watching me. I felt it. Not directly, just shifts. A missed greeting here, a longer pause at the printer there. Even the intern started avoiding eye contact. Someone told them something. That's when I mirrored my drive and ran backups off network. I didn't trust anyone, not IT, not the audit director, not even the janitorial contractor. This went higher than I thought, at least to finance VP level, maybe further. I didn't sleep that night. I stared at the blinking cursor and thought, what if they already know I know? And worse, what if they don't care? The documents were clean. Too clean. I could tell they'd been rewritten. Metadata showed edits, but no authors. The timestamps overlapped in ways only script automation could create. Someone inside ops was building fakes. The part that chilled me, these weren't forged just to cover mistakes. They were pre-planned, uploaded before the approval chain was even triggered, meaning the corruption wasn't reactive, it was proactive. It lived in the process, not outside it. I copied one template and ran it through hash comparison. The same structure matched across 6 vendors, 3 departments, and 4 months. They wanted it to look like routine. I didn't touch the files after that, didn't even click again. Just saved screenshots, took notes by hand, and wiped my cache. No fingerprints. If they were watching, I left them nothing to see. Damon sent a company-wide email that Friday with my name in it, said I'd gone above and beyond fixing a late reconciliation. He called it impressive. I called it bait. It was the first time in 2 years I'd seen him spell my name right. Everyone congratulated me like I'd just saved a merger. All I'd done was reroute 2 approvals before they triggered a compliance ping. But the timing wasn't an accident. He was naming me, publicly, which meant either he wanted to keep me close or warn someone I was getting too close. Either way, I smiled, thanked him, and erased the email from my archive. I didn't trust the attention. I didn't want applause. I wanted truth, and I was getting close enough to touch it. Maya from procurement stopped replying. We used to talk weekly. Suddenly, silence. No calls, no casual drop-ins. Then I checked. Her system access changed. She'd been reassigned to off-site contract review. That's not a real role, not here. I searched the logs and found her last activity, flagged a vendor for duplicate remittance. That vendor was on my list too. She was shut out the next day, quietly. No announcement. They buried her. That confirmed it. Someone was pruning the risk. They couldn't control the files, so they were controlling the people. I archived Maya's last report and added it to my backup. If they thought I was next, they'd find out too late. I'd already separated myself from the system they thought I served. The tipping point came on a Monday. A requisition came through from a department that no longer existed, shut down last quarter. But someone used its old project code to push a $92,000 payment. I traced it, the fake vendor, the same approval pattern. But this time, someone made a mistake. They used an old memo template, one I wrote 2 years ago. That was my fingerprint, which meant either someone was framing me or someone lazy recycled my work thinking I wouldn't notice. I stared at that document for 5 straight minutes. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just about money anymore. It was about control, power. I was in it now, and if I didn't move soon, they'd try to erase me from the story entirely. I asked around in HR, but not through channels. Just a quiet coffee with someone adjacent. I floated a question. Any ongoing investigations, weird changes, anything worth knowing? The answer was no, too quickly. And the way he paused mid-sip told me enough. There was something he wasn't saying. That was all I needed. I stopped using my work laptop after that, built a private workspace, offline. I even stripped my phone down. No mic permissions, no cloud sync. I wasn't paranoid. I was methodical. Every new thread I pulled, I saved 3 ways: off-grid drive, shuffled cloud, and printed, sealed in a stamped envelope. That last one I mailed to myself. Tamper-proof. Legal timestamp. I didn't trust HR, legal, or systems. I trusted paper. Silence was their game. I had my own rules. The final piece didn't come from a file, it came from a look. Damon in the elevator, nodding too slowly, too deliberately. That's when I knew. He didn't know how much I knew. He thought he was still winning. That was my leverage. I didn't need to report him, not yet. I needed him to feel safe, comfortable, just long enough for the last authorization to go through. I'd already rerouted the audit trail. I'd shadow copied the backups. Once the next payment hit, I'd have everything in place. I wouldn't take it to legal. I'd take it to someone higher. And when the collapse came, it wouldn't be a scandal. It would be a restructuring, with names, with receipts. And I'd be watching it all from the inside. The day the report dropped, I wore gray. No one noticed. Headlines hit by noon. CFO unexpectedly retires. Damon steps away to pursue other opportunities. No one mentioned me. Good, that's how I wanted it. The package I sent went to the board, the regulators, the oversight firm. No fanfare, just a clean trail. I didn't want revenge. I wanted balance, and I got it. HR asked if I'd stay on. I said yes. I like the quiet. I like fixing things. But now, they look at me differently, like I'm something they can't quite read. That's fine. Let them guess. I don't need credit. I just need the truth to stay visible. And if anything ever breaks again, they already know who'll be the first to see it.